Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. In this video, we are going to take a look at one of the macroeconomic tools that government use to monitor the economy, and that is fiscal policy. Well, let's take a look at fiscal policy and understanding exactly what it is. And what I would tell you just from the get-go, if you're starting off in macroeconomics, this is going to be something that's a little bit difficult for you to get your mind around, because in order to understand fiscal policy, you have to have content in your head first. And that's the difficult thing I know as an economics teacher. It's a difficult thing to teach about fiscal policy, because in order to really understand it, really understand how it is that fiscal policy is one of the tools of the government to manage the economy, you have to understand things about how the economy functions first. So if you're a little bit confused about what exactly is fiscal policy, yeah, well, welcome to the team, because it's difficult to know without content in your head. But let's take a look at a basic definition. And you'll see that fiscal policy is one of the two tools the governments use to manage the economy, okay? The first tool that they use is fiscal policy, which, by the way, has to do with government spending, okay? And the other part of fiscal policy is taxing. So taxing and spending. Fiscal policy has to do with the government's ability to manage the economy via changing the amount of government spending or changing the level of taxes that the government levies on its citizens. That would be either through sales taxes or maybe even import taxes or maybe even income taxes, okay? So just keep that in mind. Fiscal policy is one of two tools. The other tool is monetary policy, which you can check out in another video. And then, by the way, this video is just designed to give you an overview and actually answer the question of, like, what is fiscal policy? If you're looking for a more in-depth discussion of how fiscal policy plays out in the economy, check out the rest of the videos on my channel this channel has over 300 videos, by the way, covering the entirety of microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics, development economics, and theory of the firm. So it's great for IB students, AP students, A-level students, university level students. So check out those videos if you want to have more information on fiscal policy and how it plays out. But just to give you a basic understanding of it, just think of fiscal policy as the government's ability to monitor its own spending, to either increase it or decrease it to impact economic activity, or the government's ability to levy taxes, to either increase taxes or decrease taxes in order to monitor economic activity in an economy, okay? So what are the two types of fiscal policy? One is called expansionary fiscal policy, and the other is called contractionary fiscal policy. Okay, expansionary means that it would be a fiscal policy used to increase economic activity. Okay, so what would that mean? Well, if you want to increase economic activity, you are going to, boom, raise government spending or decrease what? Tax levels. Because if the government spends more, of course, there's going to be more economic activity, right, going on in the economy. That means the government is buying more things or spending more things on social programs. And if you want people to spend more, well, then decrease their taxes, okay? So that's pretty straightforward. So that's expansionary fiscal policy, has to do with increasing government spending or decreasing taxes, right? And that is expansionary fiscal policy. Well, what about contractionary fiscal policy? Well, that is used to decrease economic activity. So that would be a downward shift in government spending, cut spending, or increase taxes. Because if you increase my income taxes, guess what? You've taken money out of my pocket, quite literally, okay? So those are the two forms of fiscal policy. One, contractionary, where the idea is that the government make the economy slow down, and the other is expansionary, where the government works to increase economic activity. And you see this all of the time. You'll hear about the political spectrum. On the left, they tend to increase government spending to create social programs for people. And on the right, they tend to talk about contractionary fiscal policy, which is where they cut government spending and cut taxes, because if you cut taxes, right, you will also increase economic activity via what? Well, by giving people more money. Because let's face it, if I have, if the tax rates right now on my income are 30% and the government cuts it to 25, guess what? I take home 5% more of my income every month, and that's pretty cool. All right. So fiscal policy, again, fiscal policy is one of the two macroeconomic tools that the government has to manage the economy. They do it through monitoring government spending or through changing the tax rates in the economy. If they increase taxes if they decrease taxes or increase government spending, it would be an example of expansionary fiscal policy. If they increase taxes or decrease government spending, that would be an example of contractionary fiscal policy. All right, if that's not totally clear to you right now, that's cool. That's just an overview, right? That's the whole point of this. Like, what is fiscal policy? And as you march on through your studies of macroeconomics, you will see how this starts to play out in specific ways, and it'll all start making more sense to you as you go along. Well, there you have it, my friends. A look at fiscal policy. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it's just one of the two tools, of course, that governments have in order to manage their economy, as I just said. So understanding what it means is super important, and you can see taxing, spending, man. Those are two things that are hot political topics in any political debate in any country on this planet. And your understanding of fiscal policy, expansionary, contractionary, is so important to you being an informed citizen in this world. And of course, that means that maybe and hopefully you can make informed decisions when you go and vote for your representatives. All right, my friends, listen. I mean it when I say this world that we live in is our classroom. Take advantage of it. Walk around this earth with your eyes looking at the situations that are going on around you and try to apply those to the economic theory that you are learning in class. All right, my friends, be good to yourselves out there. Take care of one another as well. And we'll talk to you in a bit.